for the first time in 8 years. The Melbourne Storm will have to go the long way. Let's bring in their coach, Craig Bellamy. He's been kind enough to join us tonight. Craig, evening to you. Thanks for joining us on 100%.
No worries, James. A pleasure.
Uncharted waters in a way for you. Yes, always in finals footy, but outside the top four this time, does the approach feel any different for you personally as coach?
No, not really. Like I say, I think obviously the top four, get an advantage of where they're allowed one bad performance, I suppose, they can, and they live to fight another day. Whereas the bottom eight, that's not the case. So, but we'll just approach this game the same we have in the last how many years as a final, semi-final, and good thing for us has been we've had a pretty long turnaround, so hopefully we can get things right this week.
Craig, all the focus again is going to be on Cameron Munster. Has the whole contract situation and also having to play a whole season of football impacted him in any way, and are you seeing him showing any signs of slowing down at all?
No, not really. It's. I think we decided, a few weeks ago to put to bed, and we didn't want, as Cameron says, he's going to be here next year anyway. So, for me, I just want the Storm fans and his teammates just need him with his head on, his footy head on, and he's done that. And like I say, we'll leave the other part till after we finish the season, and then you can have a good think about it and make some sort of decision then.
Craig, we still don't know whether Jerome Hughes will play this week or not, but if he doesn't play, is there any thought about leaving Cam Munster at 5'8", just because with Meaney and Johns there's a little bit of inexperience there?
Yeah, it's a good point, Gal. We basically thought of doing that last week as well when Hughesy didn't play. It was just finding, I suppose, with Nick there, you'd probably put him the fullback, So, that loses, probably a similar situation. But we just think at the moment, Munster does a really good job with organised our defence, and obviously can go wherever he sees fit. And I think that's one of his real strengths, just spotting where the best place to attack is.
Craig, what's the most annoying thing about Canberra coach Ricky Stewart?
How long we got, Gus?
You've known him a long time. You played with him.
Yeah, I played with him, mate. I often thought, often sort of think, geez, I'm glad I don't play against this bloke, because he was just ruthless with how talking to, especially as he used to call them, big fat front rowers, and he used to bait them all the time. But I don't think too much has changed with Stick. He's always been a bit of a character, and he's always been he's very combative, and he's a winner. So we know what to expect from the Raiders on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, because they've given you some trouble at times down there in Melbourne, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. They've got a pretty good record down here, and real good record, I think. I'm not quite sure exactly what it is, but they have beaten us a few times here, and as I said, they're very competitive. They've got some really good individual players there, and again, besides being the final, it's always a very competitive game.
There's been a lot of media around Sofa Solomona and aggressive tactics and tackling styles, and it just seems that whenever people are questioning tackle styles in the game, they blame Melbourne Storm a lot for that. A, does that become tiresome to you? And B, do you see problems with the tackling styles in rugby league across the board, and can there be a different way of doing it if referees' interpretations were a little different?
As you say, it's that time of the year when everyone starts going on about us, and I think the Nelson situation, it was really was not the right thing last week for him. I think with all due respect, a lot of players drop down in tackles on top of the other because he's 130 kilos. So unless we're going to make a rule if you're over 90 kilos, you're not allowed to drop down the tackle. Like I say, it's. I just thought it was quite ridiculous on some of the things that come up. But as I said, this time of year they often come up. Yeah, I think with like I said, I really haven't thought about it too much. But I think there could be some, I suppose, interpretations change for the game again. To make it safer. But also, we need to be consistent with the things that we do, and so, like I say, I think there is some ways we could improve that, but it'll take a bit of thinking, and then obviously a bit of putting into the game will perhaps take a little bit of time.
Craig, your future is next year your last year as head coach?
I know I've probably said it a few times before, Danny, but I pretty much say next year's going to be my last year. It's I'm getting too old for this, and the game has changed in a lot of ways that I'm probably not so used to or not that fond of. I'm, I suppose, a little bit old school in some ways, but as I said, things have changed. But things have changed in life too. So, obviously the sport and any sort of sport or any game, they sort of follow along with what's happening in society. And so I think by in the next year I would have had enough.
How many hours of sleep you average a night, Craig?
I'm not quite sure. I like my sleep without a doubt, and I often go to bed, fairly early. I get up fairly early, but I probably get, 6 or 7, so I'd nearly average that, I reckon.
Always thinking rugby league, I imagine, and dreaming it too. Great to catch up. All the best on Saturday at home, eliminator against the Canberra Raiders and your old mate Ricky Stewart. Look forward to seeing you then.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me on, and all the best.
Good on you. Craig Bellamy joining us from Melbourne tonight ahead of the Storm's huge match, which you can catch from 5 p.m. right here on 9.